Welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. I hope everybody weathered the full moon yesterday okay. It was interesting. I learned some things, as always, and I'm always happy to learn things. I'll probably not pause enough for you to hear it, but there is a robin right outside my window, and it is singing very, very loudly. And they always make me happy. They're really happy birds, and I appreciate them. So this week, and this is the last day, I can't believe this week has gone so fast, the last day that we'll be working with the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid for this week's readings. The artwork on this deck is from Jenna Della Grataglia, who's done a lot of the artwork for Colette's decks. Not all of it, but the majority of her decks, I would say. So Colette developed this deck as an oracle deck, but with tarot principles. And she wanted it to have a more like modern positive psychology than maybe the traditional tarot, which can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit dark. It can feel, some of the cards can make you feel a little, well, pretty uncomfortable. You know, the death card, when that turns up. If you have any familiarity with tarot, which I bet you do if you're listening to this, or at least you know about the card somewhat. The death card makes people really uncomfortable. The devil card makes people really uncomfortable. The moon card, which turned up earlier for us this week, that's another one that's got kind of sketchy, shifty, shadowy energy, though I always think it's a beautiful card. The one that always gets me, that makes me feel a little uncomfortable, is the 10 of Swords. You know, like a dude laying around on the ground with 10 swords stabbed into his back. I always like, some of that energy can be overwhelming and make you concerned. And when I first started working with tarot decks, I mean, the first time I got my hands on a tarot deck, I knew what they were before, but it was about 30 years ago, and it was someone else's deck, and I was just like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. Before then, I had just kind of did fun fortune telling, divination things with playing cards, and actually still really like to do that with playing cards. It feels warm and familiar to me. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Good Tarot. So Colette changed a few things up in this deck, and one of the things that she changed up was the name of the suits cards. She just went with the 4 directions: air, fire, water, and earth, instead of swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. Those symbols represented the directions or the elements, but now she just swept that aside, and she's like, we're just going with the elements. And she changed some of the names, and she has written them as like positive affirmations, which I think is just beautiful. So let's take a look at what our reading is going to be for today. It's a regular 78 card tarot deck, and these are kind of big cards, so I do the best I can with shuffling. As always, I open a circle of light and love and protection around myself, and that extends to these readings and whoever watches these readings, whether that's today or next month or next year. You're protected. And also, I believe that if you watch something a year from now, that there was a message in it for you, and now was the time for you to be able to hear it or to process it information wise. I find readings like that. I found one just almost 2 weeks ago that was a reading from a year before, but it connected with me so strongly 2 weeks ago because I believe that's when my soul needed that information. I truly believe that. So when I do these readings, I look at 2 things. I look at the energy of the day, which is the force that's directed towards us from the universe or our environment around us. And then the focus is then our intention, effort, or response that we put into that energy. This is kind of a shiny deck, so we'll do the best we can with that. All right, so let's look at our energy. Okay. And let us look at our focus. So the last 2 weeks in a row, each of the days I had like a 3rd card jump out, and I used it in my reading. But this week we're just back to our 2-card reading, and that feels kind of nice and familiar. I don't mind those surprise cards because I think that there's something that needs to be said or shown to us through them, but this is good too. So I will read from the guidebook just as Colette has intended, you know, because like I said, she's really try to put a more positive slant on some of these cards, and they're written with positive affirmations. So I think her words are very important for us to decide how the reading is going to affect our specific energy for the day. So let us look at our energy card. We have the Messenger of Fire. I love all these fire cards. Is she not beautiful? She is wearing a crown of candles and she has orbs of light around her. This was one of the things that Colette shifted in her deck, is the Messenger. She changed the Knight in the traditional tarot to the Messenger because really it feels more like it fits our modern world. I mean, there's not a lot of knights running around in armor on horses, you know, with lances, but we do have messengers that come to us all the time. I am a child of fire. I am a double Leo. I love the sunlight. I love the moonlight as well, which is a reflection of the sun, of course, but I love these fire cards. This suit is so full. Traditionally, fire would be wands in the tarot deck, and it's about action, energy, creativity. But I want to read to you what she says here. She says fire, she calls this the intention into action suit. And she says the energy of intention and inspired action creates life as a spirit works through me, or as spirit works through me, sorry. And so we have the Messenger card here. So the Messenger is one of the court cards. The Page would come first, then the Messenger, then the Queen, and finally the highest fulfillment is the King. But we're looking at the Messenger energy. And what it says here is determination for a new adventure, innovation, independent creative action, spirited, and headstrong. Well, geez, those are all the things that I love to think about. Adventure, creativity, being spirited, being headstrong. There's nothing wrong with being headstrong as long as it's, you know, directed with good intention. Because sometimes stubbornness is just stubbornness, but sometimes there's a good reason to feel the way you do. And so trust your intuition on that. So these are court cards. So she has three things that she has wrote for each of them. So the first one is, I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I desire. The second is, surrounded by spirit, illuminated by the wisdom that rises up within me, I set forth on a path to innovate. And the third one is, I trust in my vision and act accordingly, remaining true to what I most value and desire, which can manifest in many forms. And again, it's that third one that stands out to me, but it might be another one that stands out to you. And of course, this reading will affect everybody differently because we all are we're just different spiritual people. We're different humans. We have different influences. But again, I trust in my vision and act accordingly. Surrounded by spirit, I set forth on a path to innovate. I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I desire. And fire, like I said, is about action and creativity. So this is beautiful energy coming at us today. Pay attention to your messengers. Pay attention to those synchronicities around you and see what messages that you're getting, you know. The Messenger of Fire is here for you, and it's talking about innovation, action, creativity, adventure. So let us look at our focus card. We have the Two of Earth. We have another lovely Earth card. I don't think we had this one earlier in the deck. We've had the Earth card show up for us, but this is the Two of Earth. Two tends to be a number of balance. Earth is always beautiful, beautiful, grounded energy. And honestly, fire, earth grounds fire, you know, these work well together. Water can quench fire, but fire can be grounded by earth, which is a little bit slower, a little bit gentler. So let's read what she says about the earth suit itself. She says this is the suit of conditions, and she says we see material results. So knowing that this is tied to material wealth, abundance, prosperity, the things that we've worked with spirit to co-create, this could be a very beneficial day, especially because we're getting a message of fire and action and creativity. So the Two of Earth says pleasurable work, adaptability, balance between work and play. My effort brings me joy. Play and work are not separate because what I am doing is actually fun. If conditions change, I can switch gears easily. I am fully present in the excitement of creativity and am eager to experience the surprises that occur when the seeds I have planted take root, sprout, and develop in unexpected ways. This is a time for flexibility and trust in how the universe will shape what is coming into being. One way or another, my dreams manifest in the material world. Yay, this could be a beautiful day for us. We're talking about co-creation, balance, trusting ourselves, also being flexible. If this side feels too heavy, you might have to drop it for a second and raise this one up to balance yourself. And then you might have to do just the opposite. But you have these beautiful energies coming at us, grounded in the earth, and we are working on manifesting something very great. Like I said, if you look at the tarot as like ace is a beginning and you're working your way on up to the king at the highest seat in the suit, we're kind of in the early stages here in Earth, but we have this message of fire, and now we are working on something grounded and abundant. So I don't know what this day is going to mean for me, and I certainly don't know what it's going to mean for you, but pay attention to your messages. Pay attention to the synchronicities around you. Pay attention to the signs, the symbols, to what people say to you, how they say it. Be open to creativity, action, innovation, travel, adventure, new ideas, knowing that you're on the early stages of creating something beautiful. I don't know what Wednesday has in store for us all, but I am super excited. I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you've connected with it in some way. I would love to hear your comments on this deck. Again, this is The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid, and it's gorgeous. And if you haven't ever worked with a tarot deck, it might be a good way to start off, or heck, just deep dive into tarot. There's lots of books that can explain things. There's lots of websites that can explain things. Or you can just use your intuition with the cards. But this is a beautiful deck. Because it works like an oracle deck. It's a little bit modern. It's a little bit more positive than traditional tarot can be. And I just think she did a stunning job with it. And I'm so glad this was the time that I found to use it, because I've been wanting to use it for a while, but I wasn't sure. And then it just felt very right after last week's readings with the Angels of Atlantis. I felt like this was the time to use this deck. So please like, please subscribe, please share these readings. Please leave me comments. I'm so excited because my channel is growing, and I hope that means that I'm helping spread these messages to other people. I find oracle cards so very great for guidance in my daily life, and I want to help other people have some guidance as well. And the world is shifting and changing and full of energy and sometimes hard right now. And these things can help explain our path or give us an idea of how to move forward or what we need to do. And this, I think, is a kick-ass way to go out on this deck this week. We didn't have one repeat card. We had beautiful readings every day. I'm super excited to have shared this deck with you. It will be back. I will bring it back sometime. I'm not sure when, but I hope you've enjoyed it. My name is Stacy. Thank you for visiting Simply Liminal with me. Have a beautiful day. Good luck with your adventures. Good luck with your creativity.